Music has always had the power to invoke emotion. And you could say it's because when you make music, you have to feel emotions. Some of the most beautiful art forms are vent art and come in the form of encapsulating the artist's feelings. In K-pop, where these people can and will make songs about literally anything, it can be a heavy task to actually connect to listeners' emotions, and an even heavier task to invoke it with one's own emotions. Put that order on top of accurately depicting mental health. Yet it was something that Aespa was able to do on the track from their most recent album, My World, the song I'm Unhappy. I'm Unhappy is exactly what it advertises itself to be. It's a song expressing the absence of joy, sadness, depression. Written by Barry Cohen, Ali Ayern, Sophie Hunter, and E. Suran, the lyrics are able to depict and tell the story of the singers and how they're supposed to be feeling, and there are multiple meanings implied here. In the behind-the-scenes recording, member Winter describes the music video to be
그런 가상세계에 갇혀서 빠져나갈 수 없는, 그래서 탈출을 계속 시도하지만 이렇게 계속 제자리로 돌아오는.
This can be taken in a literal sense, but when you followed and are familiar with Aespa's prolific storyline, it may give you hints to a bigger picture that's happening. My personal interpretation of the relationship between the song and the music video is that the girls of Aespa, who have a powerful sync to their eye avatars that live in Kwangya, a digital otherworld where the girls take on their online personas and fight evil big black snakes, are now faced with a new challenge, being on planet Earth, in the muddy, mundane, real world. This is different from Recall, and even though this is their home planet, they've become so accustomed to their double lives in Kwangya that coming back and living as normal humans isn't an easy adjustment. It's like a feeling of dysphoria that you can't shake because it's more than just homesickness. These girls don't belong here. What makes it worse is that the girls have to pretend and put on a facade like they're okay and that everything's just normal. This is what I'm unhappy really means. This then leads into a more metaphorical meaning. Let's drop all of the I and Kwangya talk for a minute. It's also very possible that they're simply singing about the all too common feeling of being unsatisfied with life. Never feeling happy because you don't feel like where you should be. But once again, you have to pretend like you're not unhappy. Both of these messages can be found in the song, and both take from such a real emotion, something that so many people can relate to. I think it's possible that this song fits Aespa's real-world concept of this era more than any other song. This is what it's like to live in reality. It's not glamorous, beautiful, and mysterious like Kwangya or the fantasy escape world that you've made in your head. It's reality. Member Karina says,
조금 울고 싶은데 못 울고 내가 어떻게 울어야 되지? 우는 방법을 몰라요. 슬프고 이 상황이 이해가 안 가는데. 그래서 약간 나 우는 거 모르는데 왜 눈물이 나지? 이런 사람이라고 이해를 했어요. 살짝 지쳐있고 뭔가 그거 있잖아요. 몸이 힘든 거보다 정신이 힘든 게 더 힘들잖아요.
This is the story that's told through the lyrics, which I praise the writers for. However, the producers also deserve praise for being able to not just tell Aespa's story in a verbal format, but in an instrumental format as well. The instruments accompanying the story. We're used to hearing bright, brash, bold, hyperpop sounds from Aespa that sound like sour candy in musical form. That's always been their thing. Then there's I'm Unhappy, which, this is gonna sound bad, but I don't mean this in a bad way, sounds boring. I'm Unhappy sounds boring, and it's like that on purpose. It's a simplistic beat that still has the signature Aespa synth, but it's repetitive. Through both verses and the bridge and the final chorus, the song repeats itself. There's no plot twists, beat drops, from start to finish. Even when there's a mood shift in the final chorus, this instrumental commits to the rainy and gloomy sound. This, once again, represents the repetition of sadness, boredom, and emptiness that the singer feels. Anyone who's experienced depression will know the feeling of time being on a standstill and the days passing don't even feel like they're passing. It's just like an anguishing loop of the same day over and over. It feels like the world has lost its color. Even at the final chorus, the lyrics are convincing you that they finally feel happy, yet the instrumental remains the same. Same tone of voice, same melody. The only difference is that we went from I'm unhappy to I'm so happy. You couldn't tell the difference otherwise, which I feel just candidly shows how this feeling feels. Being unhappy at the beginning and still being unhappy now. But screw it. Let me just say that I'm fine. I've been pretending this whole time anyway. Now let's go in the lyrics in depth.
Side note from editing Jocelyn. So basically when I was a little baby, I used to play piano and I was looking at the score sheet and like I was saying before, it's very repetitive and consistent with the constant 16th notes and you can clearly see the patterns that define the structure of this song. I'm mainly looking at the holds on the 16th notes because I feel like that really sets the song up and this is just the opening verse. To any current piano players cringing because I screwed up my vocabulary and wondering why I just said hold because it's not the right word or something, it's been almost 10 years since I touched a piano. Let a bitch cook, okay?
The verses use social media stories and selfies as an important storytelling element. The lyrics describe putting on a smile for group photos, seeing all of your other friends seem genuinely happy when you're not. You're different from them. The lines,
지루해진 day and night 재미없고 따분해 뻔한 every day
like I said, reveal the repetitive and blurry haze that is the days passing, even though they're all the same. This isn't the life that you're used to.
다들 완벽해 보이는 매일 나 혼자만 로그아웃 된 듯이 이 세상과 내 마음의 거리.
These lyrics are also very honest and very observant, acknowledging how you can tell that you, yourself, are miserable compared to everyone else around you, and most importantly, that you feel disconnected from all this happiness. You're not supposed to be here.
Hell yeah, I'm unhappy 행복한 척 yeah, but I'm unhappy 보란 듯이 꿈이 바쁜 feed 궁금하지 않아 난 semi free 이건 마치 hell yeah, I'm unhappy I'm unhappy.
This is Like Hell sums up the emotions pretty well. It's hammering home the misery that you feel in the song while pretending that you're okay, observing all the perfectly shot lives of your friends on social media and knowing that you're nothing like them.
현실 속같이 누가 진짜 나인지 이제 뭐가 맞는지 몰라 you and me Tell me what you're feeling yeah I got trouble healing yeah 필요한 건 오직 chillin' yeah 난 놓아줄 수
The
없다면 delete
observant
me
nature acknowledges the difference between the fake smiles for social media and the reality, depression, and the feeling of disconnection from happiness. And then the bridge.
I want 난 need it yeah yeah 난 진짜를 원해 I wanna not heal it no 더 늦기 전에 용기 내줄래 I'm not alone 허상뿐인 가짜 no more 숨 막힐 듯한 need I wanna stop you don't know what you're looking for
This is showing a yearn for happiness. Not just happiness, but a yearn for certainty. It's a cry for help and wanting to actually feel okay, not just doing an impression of what you think feeling okay is supposed to look like.
I'm so happy 솔직하게 tell ya yeah, I'm so happy 보란 듯이 꾸미기 바쁜 feed 미련 없이 벗어나 set me free 내가 아닌 나로만 가득한 세상은 싫어
I saw a couple of Mai's interpret the final chorus to be a shift that shows that the singer finally is happy by the end of the song. That is a way you can interpret it, but I take the darker route. Like I said earlier, the verbatim and identical delivery of the chorus never changes from start to end, even though they say I'm so happy instead of I'm unhappy. I believe this is meant to symbolize not only is the singer lying about their feelings to others, but has now begun to even lie to themselves, but their voice says otherwise. The story is no different than before. The lyrics, "I hate a world full of you and not me," even implies a repressed bitterness at people who are genuinely happy and share it online, and they're just left to watch it from the sidelines, on the outside, looking in, knowing they don't belong here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you don't have to agree with anything I just said. That's just how I feel.
By the way, another footnote. The end of the MV where Aespa are all running from their classmates in what looks like an angry mob I think is showing the anxiety aspect. That usually, not all the time but usually, complements depression. It's feeling like everyone's against you and is out to hurt you. In my personal experience as someone who's had anxiety and depression, since I was a child, this is literally what elementary school and middle school felt like to me in visual form, and these scenes seriously spoke to me. It reminded me of myself who used to see literal shadows of my vision because going to school felt like a horror movie. The directors really ate that shit up.